Hey guys, we are back for yet another reaction video. Tonight it's going to be a fun one, at least for me. It's going to be fun for me because we are going to be sort of revisiting one of my favorite albums that I've ever released, and this one is called Self-Inflicted Memory Loss from 2016, also known as Self-Inflicted Memory Loss. That is not true. I was lying. That's another album entirely. It has a completely different theme. However, this one is one of my favorite albums. This was my very first 99 song album. So you can see if I scroll down, it has 99 songs. Hooray for me, I've made a 99 song album. And this album is a free jazz album, meaning it's like freestyle. It's completely improvised. Not only that, it's also randomly arranged. So each song has a drum track and two guitar tracks and a vocal track. I think two vocal tracks. Yeah, a high vocal and a low vocal. And then, so basically for the drums and the guitar were randomly arranged. And I will get into that in a second. I should probably get into that right now. But so we can read a little bit about it right here. So it says, recorded in 2016, I started by recording 99 drum tracks, 198 guitar tracks left and right. So basically there are two guitar tracks per song. So that's why one drum track and two guitar tracks per song. So I recorded 99 drum tracks and 198 guitar tracks. So that's where the math comes from. Each drum/guitar track was improvised and recorded while listening to silence, except for a count in and count out to indicate 20 seconds. Then I made a list in Microsoft Excel from 1 to 99 that signified the chronological order of the drum track recordings, and I randomized the order of the list so that, for example, the 57th drum track I recorded would be on row/song 1. The 89th drum track would be on row song 2, etc. It's getting a little convoluted here, but I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. I did the same with the guitar tracks, randomized the list from 1 to 198, and used the first two rows for song 1, the next two for song 2, etc. Then I rearranged the drum guitar tracks according to the randomized lists and recorded vocals. I also wrote lyrics. I didn't mention that, but I did write lyrics. The lyrics are hidden. I've never released them. You know, it's funny because I don't even know what the lyrics are. And then today I was putting together some files. I was figuring out where, my sessions for this album were when I recorded the album. They were on a external hard drive, and I found it. And I also found the lyric sheet. So I read a few of the songs. I read some of the lyrics, and they're absolutely hilarious. They're very juvenile. And that's why I chose not to release them. I don't even know if I should release them. Well, we should probably read them one day, but they're very juvenile and inappropriate. Yeah. Okay. So, and then here, yeah, okay, we missed a paragraph here. So with this method, I was able to create music and listen to it as if I had never heard it before, which is rare as a musician, hence the name of the album. So the name of the album, Self-Inflicted Memory Loss. So by using this technique, the strategy for writing music, I was able to write an album, and then when it was all finally arranged and everything, I was able to listen to it basically for the first time. So that's what I was going for with this album. Because normally, if you're a musician, you write a song and you know how it goes from the very beginning, right? But if you make it this way, it's improvised, it's randomized, it is, freestyle. You don't know what the final thing is going to sound like. So that's where this comes from. Now, I think I also did have a couple more things to say about this album on my website. Where music? And then we want to go to, so we just want to say this. Star ratings are my own based on my personal level of satisfaction for each album. This is a little out of date, by the way. I don't have anything from 2023 or 2024, unfortunately. So where's the album? Here it is. Okay. You can see I gave it the best rating, 5 red stars. So I was extremely excited with this album. Okay, so it's almost 40 minutes. So one thing I forgot to say is that 99 tracks, every single track has a sample in front of it. That's another thing I wanted to do for a long time. I wanted to make a 99 song album with a sample in front of it. So this one says, I wanted to make a 99 song album for a long time, and this was my first. I'm super proud of this album because it came out exactly how I envisioned. That's true. That is completely true. When I went into this album, I had a specific goal in mind. However, because the music is improvised and randomized, it's hard to sort of it's hard to visualize how it's going to turn out. I mean, you can, but it's hard to sort of predict. That's the word I'm trying to think. Predict the end result. But with this one, it turned out exactly how I hoped it was, how it hoped it would. I started by making a 20-second timer that had a count in and count out with silence during the 20 seconds. We'll talk about this soon. Then I added 99 markers into Reaper and added the timer to each marker. Then I recorded 99 drum tracks, 198 guitar tracks, 99 twice, of random improvised free jazz while only listening to the timer and the instrument I was playing. Then I randomized the order of all the drum and guitar tracks. Then I recorded an hour of audio from my TV while flipping through the channels and picked out 99 samples. Then I wrote lyrics and recorded vocals. Favorite song, Uni Glasses. Uni Glasses, that's a classic song. Well, it's my favorite song on this album. We're going to listen to that album. We're going to listen to basically every single song on the album. And I guess what I had in mind for this video was we were going to talk about the album a little bit, but we were basically going to go listen to all the samples because we encountered a bunch of these songs in one of my previous videos. I think the top 50 songs on my Bandcamp, and a bunch of the songs from this album were on it. And I was having a lot of fun listening to the funny samples. So, okay, so we have that done. By the way, I'll give you a little taste of how this sounds. So let's turn this off and we'll listen to Love.
Love, 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 love. Tell a friend. Love, 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 love. Again.
Oh yeah. This is what you're watching. This is what you're in for. That style of music. Now, I I love that style of music. So basically, drum wise, I'm trying to play as fast as I can, doing completely random stuff. Guitar wise, sometimes I'm playing fast, sometimes I'm playing slow, sometimes I'm playing chords, sometimes I'm doing tremolo picking. It really doesn't matter. It's all over the place. And so basically I recorded the drums and the guitar. I arranged the song, I arranged the album. So basically every song, I arranged them with the randomized list, according to the randomized list. And then once all of the guitars and drums were together in their slots, I wrote lyrics to all the songs, and then I recorded vocals, and then I released the album. Okay, so this is what it was. So here is my Reaper, what is this called? A session? Yeah, my Reaper project. So you can see these are markers up here, the red lines, and there are 100 of them. There really doesn't need to be 100. There doesn't have to be one at the end. There's basically 99. And so that's what I started off by doing. I put 100 markers. And then the very top track here, this is the metronome. So we'll listen to this and I'll just show you what the metronome is. So this was, when you do improvised music and when you do freestyle music and when you do this, like there's no tempo. There's basically no way to sync yourself up with the other instruments because it's just completely random and stuff like that. So in order to sync everything up, I created a metronome. I created a timer. So I wanted each song to be a specific time. I forget if it was 16 or seconds or 20 seconds. I don't remember. But so it has a count in and then a count out. You can see the little blips here. I mean, I can make the track a little bigger. You see it has 4 blips, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's just silence. And then there are 4 more blips here. And then it's got a bigger blip. So I'll just show you what that sounds like. And now I would start playing my my instrument. So whether it was drums or guitar. So basically for the count in, I would let it count to 4. And then on the 5th, I would start playing my instrument. And there's nothing here. So I was just listening to the instrument I was playing, whether it was guitar or drums. And then I get towards the end here. Okay, so basically we have 4 more clicks, 4 more pulses, and then we have a 5th one. And so I'd still be playing during the 4 pulses here. This was just to let me know that, okay, the song's about to end. So to get ready to stop. So it would hit 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the bang at the end. I don't even know what that is. That is some sort of instrument, but it's like an orchestral hit. It might be an orchestral hit. I think that's what it is. Orchestra hit, orchestral hit. It might also be multiple instruments. I don't remember. But once I heard this, so basically I was counting 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on this beat right here, I would stop. So basically whether I was playing drums or guitar, I would stop. And then by doing this, I was able to, all the instruments would start and stop together. And while they were playing, it was completely random, completely freestyle, completely nonsensical. And so that's exactly what I was going for. And it ended up working out perfectly. So now we're going to do this. We're going to turn this off. Okay, so you can see there's a bunch of colors here. So I started by recording drums. I recorded 99 drum tracks, and I basically recorded several of the tracks at once. So I would press record in this project file here. And for the first one, and they're separated, the colors are separated by, so basically this was my first, I would press record here. And then here, I stopped recording for this. So I started playing drums here, and I played for 8 songs. I did 8 songs in a row. And so I don't know if I should show you this because this is unmixed. So it's not going to sound the greatest. So let's mute the guitars. So this is the very first one. I could enable the metronome too. You know what I'm saying? So basically playing as fast as I can. And I mean, there is a little bit of a break, but it's really not that much. It's only a few seconds. So I have to play like, I don't know if it's 16 or 20 seconds, but of really fast. And then I get a couple seconds of break, and then I have to do it again. And so for the first bit, I just play until I get too tired. And so I stopped after 8 songs. I took like a minute or 2 break, had a drink of water, and then I continued. And I did another, looks like six sections. And so this one only did 5 sections. This one only did 2 sections. That's kind of shocking. And so I did several sections until I finally made it to the very end. Whereas with the guitars, I pressed record and I recorded all 99 guitar tracks at once. So this guitar track right here, oh no, that's incorrect. I thought I did, but apparently I did not. I'm not sure why I stopped here. There must have been a reason, because the one underneath it, I recorded the whole thing at once. So the right guitar, the guitar on the right channel, I recorded all 99 tracks at once, and the left one I stopped recording mid record for some reason. I recorded in 2 sections. I don't remember why. There is definitely a reason, but I don't remember why. Anyways, so here is your. So this is what I started with. I had the drums and the guitar, and so now what did I do? I created the Excel file. And so I basically, so there's 99 tracks, right? So I put one, and then I went down to 99, and then I randomized the list. So this is for the drums. I did one for drums and I did one for the guitars. So I started with drums, and then I randomized the list. So from the 1 to 99 list. And so now it's all randomized. And so the numbers correspond with the markers here in Reaper. And so whatever was at the top now, because it's a randomized, let's say it was 73. I don't know what it was. And I didn't copy them over. I don't know where they are. But let's say it was 73. I would go to the 73rd marker. I would cut out the drums from here to here, right? And then I would, okay, I didn't group them, but then I would bring all of these tracks over to number 1. So this was going to be track 1. And then I would have to do that for every single one until I got down to 99 and all the drum tracks were resorted. And then I did the same thing for the guitars. And so basically, like, the first track that I recorded on drums wasn't the first track that appears on the album, because all the tracks got resorted. All the songs here. I don't know if I'm expressing myself properly, or, if you're understanding what I'm saying, but that's what happened. And then so at the very end, let's close all the projects. I was left with this project here, drums plus guitars. Let's turn off that. So you can see now the colors are different. So normally, at least in the first project that we were just looking at, it was sections of colors, right? Now it's basically one color per track. That's because they all got resorted. And then we also have the vocals on the bottom here. So we can listen to the 7th one. This is the track that we already listened to. Okay, so that's track 7, as evidenced by the 7 marker. I just have to have a drink. Okay, so now we have this. I recorded vocals, I wrote lyrics, and I recorded vocals. So we have all of our music. And now we have to record my TV, the audio from my TV. And so I did get that. So let's try and figure out where that is. That is in the TV section right here. All right, so I forgot about this. But apparently I recorded multiple days worth of TV. So let's see what we have here. So if I zoom in here, I mean, it's probably better if I just go here into the folder. So here we have TV. Those are all the repeats files. Let's go to the wave files. Where are the wave files? Come on, where are the... Okay, here they are right here. So I have 1, 3, and 5, apparently. So I think it's this one, TV and TV2. So this is 16/8/13. So this would be August 13th, 2016. And then I also did one the next day, August 14th, 2016. And looks like I did August 15th as well. So apparently I did this over the span of 3 days. I didn't realize that. And this one's 48 minutes. This one is 19 minutes. So I recorded I definitely recorded over an hour of TV. I didn't realize that. But if we go back here, and so this is the final day. So basically it's separated by days. So this is the 13th. The first two are the 13th. The second two are the 14th. And the last two are the 15th. And so basically, the one that's on the top right here, this one right here, this one right here, this is the audio that I did not use for samples, whereas the ones on the bottom are the ones that I use for samples.
Good jumping, Timothy!
Okay, that's some kid's show. I don't even know what it was. I was just flipping through channels. This did not appear on the album.
Dan, how many have been ordered? Because I know you said 1,200, but
that you got. Just love blue and green together. So she put it on you. Look at how great these look. I just love blue and green together. So with the fruit punch. So
oh my God. I think that was some sort of like the shopping channel thing where they're talking about the color of some sort of piece of clothing. So if you notice that clip, the one where she says fruit punch.
Just love blue and green together. So with the fruit punch. So
that appears here. So if I go down to fruit punch.
So with the fruit punch. So
I should have played something.
All those years of hard work are about to be undone.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay. So I think you understand what we're dealing with here, right? So basically I recorded 3 days worth of audio on my TV, and then I had to sift through them. I mean, while I was doing it, I definitely noticed that there were some really good samples. However, I had to go through all the files after the fact as well to try and see if there were samples as well. And I ended up picking out 99 samples. 99 samples. Apparently, we also have some extras. Yeah, I'm not going to play them. I forgot about them. We have 4 extras. Maybe at the end we'll play them. Okay, so I think we should just listen to the album. How far into the video are we? 22 minutes. I mean, so the album's like 40 minutes. I think we're just going to listen to it because I really want to listen to it. And I'll try and talk about each sample.
What do you see as the basic problem with Christopher?
Okay, so we've heard several of these songs already in my previous video with the top 50 songs on Bandcamp. So we heard this one. This is the most popular one on this album, probably because it's track number 1. This is not one of my favorites at all because it's very slow, and it just unfortunately happened to, like, the drum track happened to fall on track 1. I don't know what drum track it is, but it's just one of those things. But the sample, what was the sample again? Oh yeah, Christopher.
What do you see as the basic problem with Christopher?
Okay, so this was from some sort of TV show. It was with an old guy and a young girl. I think it was like a kid's show, and he was sort of teaching her something. I don't remember exactly what it was. It might have been a religious show as well. I don't remember. There's a bunch of I get religious channels as well. I watch TV with an antenna, and so there was some good religious samples as well that we're gonna come across eventually. But I think I recorded this. Oh, because I did several days. One of these days must have been like a Saturday before noon or a Sunday before noon, because there were kids shows and whatnot on TV. So
a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1.
Yes. Okay, 1, 2, 1E and 2E, a 1E and a 2E in it. So this was, it must have been another, this was another kid show, and this was a band that was playing in the show. And that's all I know about that. They were a band. They also appear later in the, It was a religious show. Yeah, because one of the other songs is called God Loves You. God Loves You. Where is that? I don't know where that is. We're going to come across it later on it must be like mid. Here it is. I saw it. God Loves You, 39 track, or 38, I should say. And it's the same band, the same guy saying that. So it must have been, it was a kid show on a religious channel. I mean, that's a classic sample for track 2, because it says a 1E and a 2E in it. So that was an obvious no-brainer to add for track 2.
The hooves of the mountain goat are very large.
That sample is absolutely hilarious. This was probably another kid's show, but it was more of an educational show. This guy was trying to educate you on the mountain goat, apparently. And the way he says this is so funny.
The hooves of the mountain goat are very large.
The hooves of the mountain goat are very large. Whenever he says it, I laugh. The way he says it's absolutely hilarious. He appears again in another song. I forget which one.
Okay, here's the part you had trouble with, right?
Right?
But no trouble for me.
Look at that.
Look at that.
But no trouble for me. You're stupid. That's the way the guy says it. This was for some infomercial where some guy was using some sort of mechanic painting, like a spray paint type thing. I forget what those are called. You basically hook it up to an air compressor and then it sprays the paint. And, the way these people talk in the infomercials, that guy is just acting like such a stuck-up shit eater. The way he says that. No trouble for me. And the way they talk, they appear again later. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it happens. Like they have to sound enthusiastic and stuff in order to do this infomercial. But you get the sense that they absolutely despise each other by the way they talk to each other. So funny. It might not be from this exact one or if it's from another infomercial, but we do have more infomercial stuff.
Oh my goodness. That is Whitney approved. That's official.
Fantastic.
Crunchy.
Fantastic. Crunchy. That was from one of those daytime talk shows for like your housewife talk shows in the morning. You know what I'm talking about? I forget which one it was. Marilyn, I think it was Marilyn Dennis. The Marilyn Dennis show, I believe it was. And this was some segment where some lady was cooking something. I forget what it was, but apparently it was crunchy. And when the girl says fantastic, she had food in her mouth. That's why she sounds like that.
Oh my goodness. That is Whitney approved. That's official.
Fantastic.
Crunchy.
This was one of the songs where I read the lyrics for this song today. It's hilarious.
Can I take a photo of the two of you?
Okay, so that one was another kids show. The kids shows, for whatever reason, they have really good samples. It's very, like, I don't know, they're really good at that. That was some kid show. I feel like it was an animated show. I don't know what the show was, but the way it was, I guess, because, you know, people, when they have to do voice work, they really have to enunciate and stuff like that. And so maybe they tend to have better sound samples, I guess. But I guess I don't really remember the situation in the TV show, at least. But you could sort of take this as being sort of dirty. Can I take a photo of the two of you? You could take it as meaning that.
Can I take a photo of the two of you?
And I'm pretty sure the lyrics make it seem like that as well. That's the angle the lyrics take. Yeah, so like the drums and the guitars have absolutely nothing in common with each other because they're doing completely different things. This is sort of the nature of free jazz and freestyle. And the vocals, however, so basically the drums and guitar were arranged, and then when I wrote lyrics and recorded the vocals, I sort of had to make sense of the structure of the song. The structure, even though it didn't have a structure, I sort of had to give it a structure with the lyrics and with the vocals.
Love, 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 love. Tell a friend. Love, 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 love. Again.
Okay, so that was, I don't know, they were doing some sort of exercise program. And so that was the guy in charge. He had like a headset on, and he was trying to get people psyched up for doing whatever dancing exercise that they were doing. I mean, he sounds gay in one specific part. When he says, tell a friend, I feel like he sounds gay. I don't know if he actually is. I mean, I feel like sometimes I sound gay. I don't know why. I don't know if I've noticed that recently, but maybe it was in some other type of thing where the microphone was different and I thought I sounded gay. I don't know. If you think I sound gay, let me know in the comments.
Love, 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 love. Tell a friend. Love, 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 love. Again.
Got your jacket.
Oh my God, I don't believe
Well, here it is.
it. Good night.
Yeah.
Sounds like the guys in the friend zone. He got trapped in the friend zone. This, I don't remember. I feel like it's from a movie. It's definitely from a movie. I don't know what the movie is, but it was probably an 80s movie or a 90s movie. And he brings the girl her jacket, and she says, thank you. And then he's like, yeah, okay. Obviously. I mean, you listen to it. But the vibe I got was that he was interested in her. She was not interested in him, or something to that effect. And there you have got your jacket.
Busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Okay, that was from a commercial. I don't really remember what it was all about, but it was a commercial, and that's pretty much all I got. All I got for that. But it sounds very funny. The way, she says she's a busy mom, and the way the guy says, oh, you're a busy mom. I feel like that guy was a doctor or something. He had some sort of lab coat on, and I think the woman was a black lady. I mean, it sort of sounds like it, doesn't it?
I'm a busy mom. Oh, you're a busy mom.
Her face, a mask of stone.
Okay, so I knew this guy's name, and I was trying to think of it like 10 seconds ago because I knew this song was coming up, and I couldn't think of it, but I just thought of it. I think that guy's name is Bill Curtis. Now, I think he's been on multiple TV shows. He was doing like the narration for some of these crime shows. I don't remember what the show was, but this is from one of those shows, and he was describing, I don't know, a bad girl, apparently. Some girl who was a murderer, I believe. Her face, a mask of stone.
Lazy.
Yeah, so that, like lazy, that's the same guy from track 1 who said, what do you see is the basic problem with Christopher? Maybe this is the next line. She says lazy and he says lazy. So I guess I'm lazy. Is that what I'm trying to say here? I thought it would be funny to use this sample for this song because this song is really intense. It is very fast, both the guitars and the drums. It's just extremely intense of a song.
Lazy.
Okay, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to like play the guitars. So I'm just going to play that song. So let's go back. Oh, fuck off. Let's go to, I'm still not used to this. I'm on Windows 11 now, so I'm still not quite 100% used to it. What do I want to do? I want to go here. I want to go to track 11, not 99. Let's go to track 11. And I want to solo one of the guitar tracks. So let's do this. There's one specific guitar track that I'd like to hear. So that was the left guitar part for that song. Let's listen to the right guitar part. Oh God, that was so good. Oh my God. That's just the literal definition of bullshit. Did you hear like the random tapping every now and then? Oh my God. Oh, this album was so fun to make. I really need to do this again if I can. All right, so let's go back to this. So we listened to, that was Lazy, right? All right, so we're already in track 11. We have like under 90 songs left. We're making progress.
Yeah, I see it. I just have no patience.
Okay, that girl, she was from, so there's this show in Canada called Canada's Worst Driver. I don't know if that's in other countries. I don't know if it originated in Canada, but you know, it's an interesting show. There's like a bunch of people at the very beginning of the show, bad drivers, their friends or their family nominate them to go on the show because they're horrible drivers. And then there's a bunch of judges, and you have to do various tests every episode, various difficult tasks, and whoever does the best gets to leave. Yeah, whoever does the best gets to leave, and then whoever does the worst has to stay. And at the very end of the season, whoever's the worst driver on the show gets crowned Canada's worst driver. Crowned. I feel like that's what happens, right? I can't remember. I haven't seen that show in a while. Anyway, this is from that show, and the girl, I believe, her name is Marguerite. And gotta listen again.
See it. I see it. I just have no patience.
Yeah, and she had a bit of a mouth on her. And just trying to think I can't really think of what her storyline was on the show. But this was from that show. I think she does appear again later on.
I hear Swapperoo.
Okay, so that was from the show Cash Cab. Canada has a version of Cash Cab. And so I remember the question for that as well. So the question for that, they were asked the question, and then they had their swap available. They didn't know the answer to the question, so they decided to swap the question. However, the question was, where did the phrase "jump the shark" come from? Or what TV show did the phrase jumping the shark come from? And that was Happy Days, right? Apparently the Fonz jumps over a shark, literally jumps over a shark in water skis. I knew that for whatever reason. I never saw that, but I knew that piece of trivia. These were younger people, so I'm sure they didn't see that show. There's one point in that song where I remember what the lyrics are. It's very dirty. I'm not going to say what it is because it's gross. It's very funny though.
I think it's wonderful.
Okay, I think it's wonderful. That is obviously from some type of old-fashioned TV show. It was probably from a Western. I do have some Western samples on this, because one of the TV stations that I get specializes in Westerns. And so that was definitely from that. I don't remember what the show was, but I really love how this song starts. I mean, it's a great sample. I think it's wonderful. And then when the music starts, it's just ridiculous. The melody of the guitars is just, it's like, what the hell are you even doing? And then the drums, I forget what the drums do. If it's a fill at the beginning or what.
I think it's wonderful.
Okay, we have to listen to the isolated guitars for this song because I really like that. Wonderful. So what was this? What's the track number on this? 14. Okay, so let's go up to 14. So let's listen to the left one first. Okay, I really like that. it's funny because when you have the two guitar tracks going on at the same time, it creates a different melody when they're so strange, when they're so much different from each other. And so, I mean, when I listen to a guitar track isolated from the other one, I can hear parts of the melody from the song, but it's also different at times. So like part of how I perceive the song, the melody of the song, it happens every now and then when I'm listening to this guitar track. And then when I switch to the next one, I'm going to be experiencing the other half. Because sometimes one guitar track will sort of stand out, or one part of one guitar track will stand out, and the other guitar track, the other part for that specific like 1 second section might be in the background. That is so weird listening to this. Wow. The first guitar track, the left channel on this song, I feel like that's the more dominant guitar, at least in how I perceive the song. This was so weird. So basically the only thing I recognize from this song is parts here and there, from this guitar track right here, is parts here and there, but then the end really shines on this guitar track. Where it hits that last chord.
Worry is a fruit.
Okay, so this was from a religious channel. I think it was this guy doing a sermon. Is that what that's called? He was making his speech there, and he said, "Worry is a fruit." I forget what the whole story was, but it was a very, very nice sample. Fit perfectly. Okay, so this is the same guy from 1-2, and also the same guy from God Loves You, which we will encounter eventually.
Knives, spoons.
Okay, so this is a classic song, Knives, Spoons. I have no idea what that sample's from. I do not remember.
Knives, spoons.
I don't know. It was probably from a kid's show. I mean, just judging by the music and the way the guy says knives, spoons.
Knives, spoons.
But this song is notorious on this album because of how it starts. You know, the sample is very short. It's kind of strange. It's a guy saying knives, spoons. And then the music, when the music starts, it's absolutely relentless for the whole song.
Knives, spoons.
So what was that? That was 17? Let's just take a little peek-see at 17. So we'll listen to the left one first. All right, so that was an intense track, and then this one I believe has the higher nonsensical rambling on the guitars. So if you've just joined us right now and you just listened to this, you probably think I had no idea how to play guitar. Whereas I've been playing guitar for 29 years. So, but if you're an experienced guitar player, sometimes you can sort of get bored with the usual traditional way of writing music and whatnot. And so you like doing stuff like this, where you can play whatever the hell you want. There are no rules. Just do whatever you want. Express yourself in whatever way you want. And so this is like anti-music because there's no structure. There are no rules. And so it sort of goes against the tried and true methods of creating music and creating good music. Good music.
Looking for someone to trade his goiter.
Okay, so this goiter, I believe this is from Night Court. That sitcom, I think it was from the 80s or the 90s, or maybe overlapped from the 80s to the 90s. I don't remember. Maybe it was just the 90s. It did appear in the 90s, though. But yeah, that was on one of those channels that I watched. And I believe another sample from that show appears later on. But I believe that is from Night Court. I don't know who the character is. I did not watch that show. I did not enjoy that show. So, but that's what the show is from. That's what the sample is from.
I think nuts.
That was such a nice sample. The way the girl said that. I think that this was also from the Marilyn Dennis show where I forget which one it is. It was Crunchy when the two girls were eating something and the one girl said fantastic and the other girl said crunchy. Pretty sure this is from that same show. Probably the same segment as well, because what did she say? She said, I think nuts. But I don't know, like, how does this appear in a sentence? I think nuts. I don't remember the context, but the way she said it was very funny.
I think nuts.
She takes the breath at the beginning. She's like, I think nuts.
I think nuts.
I've told him to sit on it.
Okay, obviously that was from another kid's show. I don't know what show it was from, but the way the guy said it was very funny.
Perfect chocolate cup. Let's do another one.
Perfect chocolate cup. Let's do another one. That is definitely from the Marilyn Dennis show again when they were making food. Yeah, so the drums were, shockingly slow on that song. I guess there were a couple drum tracks where I played very slowly. I guess I was getting tired, and so I wanted to do a slow track.
fast speeds.
Okay, that was the same guy from the hooves. The hooves of the mountain goat are very large. That was the same guy. I guess he was talking about the top speed of the mountain goat, I'm assuming. But fast speeds is very appropriate for this song because this song is very fast.
Fast speeds.
So what are you up to?
So what are you up to? So that was, I think, okay, so this was, I believe these were two young girls. I don't know how old they were. They were probably like high school girls. I don't know if they were high school girls or college girls, but they were doing some sort of skit. And if I remember correctly, I believe this was on the religious channel. So they were doing some type of skit. I don't remember what the premise of the skit was, though. Oh, I just remembered because they appear later. Yeah, it was definitely the two religious chicks, the two Christian chicks. And so they appear again later on. I forget what track it is, but they appear later on. So we'll see that. But they were talking about God in Jesus, I guess. Unfortunately, I can't really remember more. Maybe I'll remember more when we get to the next sample.
So what are you up to?
Oh, so the one girl, I believe, is listening to music. And the one girl asks her friend, what are you up to? That's funny. I did this in 2016. That was almost 9 years ago. Well, I guess it was just over 8 years ago. But still, I can still remember these things, which is kind of funny.
Oh man, it was smooth as silk.
Okay, so that is obviously from some type of commercial or an infomercial, but I do not remember what it was about. Smooth as silk. Unfortunately, I don't remember. That's going to bother me.
You like it? Well, oh man. It's all right. I feel a little sick.
Okay, so this is from, I remember the show. I think it's called Raw Travel. So that guy, not the guy at the very beginning who asked him, what did he ask him? Oh, you like it. He said, you like it. So it was a local guy. So the show is basically some guy who travels around to different places, and I guess he tries food and does touristy stuff. And so that's what the guy was doing, and he was fed something by the guy at the very beginning of the sample. Something that tasted not very good. It was probably some type of like raw animal type of food. But I guess, can't remember. But he did not like it. Okay, so the guitar on that one has a nice melody. One of the guitars is actually like melodic. So for some of these, I actually played like a melodic riff on the guitar. Others, it was amelodic and just sort of atonal. So let's do this. I don't know which one it is. Now, I have no idea what I'm doing there, like what the chord is, but it sounds good. Oh, well, I have an idea. I just don't know exactly what it is. It's not something I would normally play. How did the other guitar go? Wow, it's actually, there's like there are a few notes that are shared between both guitar tracks. It's kind of funny. It just happened to, just coincidentally.
The golden age of country.
Okay, so that's obviously a commercial for either a commercial or an infomercial for some country album, some country compilation album. Clearly.
The golden age of country.
Now, if there's anyone out there who knows the song that's playing underneath the guy's voiceover, I'll give you like $100 if you know what it is. Should I have said that? Maybe I should have said $10.
The golden age of country. The golden age of country.
I mean, it's possible. You can semi hear it.
Excellent choice.
Okay, so I believe that this is from like some sort of TV movie. This might not be true, but I think it is. I think it's from a TV movie. Oh, I had the name of it. I can't remember what it was on the tip of my tongue. Basically, it's about this girl who sort of, for some reason, I think there's wrestling involved. She like inherits, or she becomes the owner or manager or something of this wrestling ring place. What's that called? Like a gym, a wrestling gym or something. And I feel like the girl who was in the sample here, I feel like that's her mom. And so they were out to dinner, and then her mom's this, snobby lady. And yeah. So I think that is a plot point of the movie. So the girl who takes over the wrestling ring, she comes from, a very snobby upbringing, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And then she has to take over this wrestling ring. What the hell is it called? I don't remember. And I don't know who the actress was or who the actors are, but I can remember the name. I can remember the movie, I should say. We have another, I think, at least two more samples from that movie that pop up.
Perfect. These are bike tires.
I like that sample. Perfect. These are bike tires. It's like, why are you saying that? So this was obviously for another sort of kids show, I guess. I don't remember what he was doing, but this was not animated. This was, I guess he wanted bike tires and he said, perfect. These are bike tires. I guess he was making something. I don't know, but it was very, very nice sample. The way he says it is perfect.
Perfect. These are bike tires.
Another very slow drum track. Shockingly slow. I was probably trying to catch my breath.
and a rubbery, concave set of foot pads that act as suction cups.
That's the hooves guy again. The hooves and the what? He says something else. He was in another one of these. I forget which one. Fast speeds. Fast speeds. Where's fast speeds? Oh, here it is right here. 22. So we have 3, 22, and whatever foot pads is 29. I think that's the last appearance of whoever this guy is. And a rubbery concave set of foot pads that act as suction cups.
And that's the reason why. Look at that mess.
This is ridiculous. There's paint splattered everywhere. Oh, great.
That's for the infomercial again. The same people who did which one? Look at that. So it's the girl and the guy. They're trying to promote this automatic paint system. And so I guess they used some other one. The guy, and I guess there's paint splattered everywhere. He has to emphasize how bad that is, and then he's going to bring out his trusty new utility, his painting device, and it's going to make it all better. If I remember correctly, they had some sort of fence that they brought into the studio where they were doing their infomercial, and he was painting on that, like a couple fence posts or something like that.
And that's the reason why. Look at that mess.
This is ridiculous. There's paint splattered everywhere. Oh, great.
But the way they talk is just so funny in these infomercials.
And then get started on my sandwiches.
So that was I remember what that was. That was from a cooking show, but I forget what the show is called, and I forget it features this girl. But I don't remember what the girl's name is, and I don't really remember what she looks like either. But I remember that episode. She was making sandwiches, obviously. Oh, it was on PBS. One of the PBS channels. It was either Think or Create. I forget which one. Back in 2016.
He tripped me up already.
Okay, so that is from the Olympics. Now, I don't know what. It was from the diving. Yeah. So there was some from diving. I don't know if it was male or female. I do enjoy watching the female diving. Obviously, that's a pretty amazing event. But I was just recording the audio, so I don't know if it was male. I feel like it was male. Yeah, it was male diving. And so there was another guy. A sample from this specific event appeared again. I don't remember where where were the Olympics in 2016. I don't remember. Was it Brazil? I don't think so. But Rio? I mean, they were in Rio one year, weren't they? I feel like they were. But yeah, later on, they're going to talk about a diver from Scotland. And I think the guy asked, like, when have you seen a diver from Scotland? And I think this might be the follow-up to that, where she says, trip me up. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's not. But this is the girl from that, from the diving event. This is some edge of your seat commentary, isn't it?
Last weekend, I attended the Throckmorton Engstrom Smith Billingsley wedding.
Okay, so this was the mother of that girl who took over the wrestling ring, the wrestling business. And this was the snobby mother. And so this was another example of her snobbiness, I guess, or I don't even know if snobbiness is the right word, but she's from a different class, I should say. I wish I could remember. I mean, I could Google it, but I don't want to do that. Maybe I might at the very end. I don't know.
Last weekend, I attended the Throckmorton Engstrom Smith Billingsley wedding.
That's a lot of last names.
I'm sorry. Like I told you at the airport. I mean that. You're the sweetest thing I ever had.
Okay, so this was from a movie. I don't remember what the movie was, but I thought it was funny because, the guy seems genuine. You have the heartfelt piano music, and then the music starts, and it's just so ridiculous. Yeah, once again, we have a slow drum track, kind of surprising. Now, what is this? What track is this? Where are we? We are in 34. Okay, we're a third of the way through. How far away are we into the video? We are an hour 12. So is this going to be a 3-hour video? I really hope not, because that's a long time. But if we can keep it interesting, then I'm fine with that. So what did I say, 34? Let's just go to 34, because that's actually, I remember listening to this guitar track isolated before and thinking it was really cool. I was really happy with it. I don't know which one it is. Okay, it's not this one. So one of the tracks is really cool. The other one's very noisy. This is the noisy one. Love it so much. And then this one does have some actual melody to it at times, I believe. Except for the very beginning. Love it. So basically, when I think of that song, this guitar part is what I think of when I hear that song. The other guitar part is more like background extra stuff. So that's what I was trying to express when I was talking before about how sometimes one specific guitar will sort of dominate the other. Sometimes they will alternate between which guitar dominates. Other times they will sort of meld together and create their own melody. So it's really interesting, I find.
Told you it was a good morning. Yeah. What you talking about, baby? Where you going?
I gotta go.
Okay, so that was a really long sample. That's one of the longest ones on the album. I thought it was very funny because the guy seems extremely enthusiastic about the football game. Whereas at the very end, he asks the guy what's wrong, and the guy says, I gotta go. And so this was from a sitcom. I don't remember what it was called. It's like, a black people sitcom, whatever you want to call that. I don't know what you want to call that. I wish I could remember. There's this TV channel called Bounce, and it has like a lot of it's black people TV. That's basically what it is. I think their motto or whatever is TV our way. And so don't get mad at me. That's what the TV channel is. And so the sitcom was on that station. I wish I could think of what it was, but I can't. But I really like how the guy says, I gotta go.
I gotta go.
If you're looking to hear some great jazz.
Okay, so that is from PBS. That would happen sort of in between shows. Occasionally they would, I think they were promoting a radio station that apparently played great jazz. So that's what that's from.
I saw your picture.
I bet you have.
Okay, so this is from some type of movie, some type of TV movie. It seemed really low budget. So the girl said, I saw your picture. So apparently this guy walked in. I think it was probably some type of old-fashioned TV show. The guy walks into a saloon or something like that, or some sort of old store. And the girl says, I saw your picture because, there's wanted posters, and she saw the wanted posters, and the guy is supposed to be a bad guy. And I guess the way he says, I bet you did, or I bet you had, or have, or something like that. He's a bad guy.
I bet you have.
I saw your picture.
I bet you have.
Okay, God Loves You is on next. I know that for a fact because I'm recognizing the songs.
God loves you.
Yeah, so God Loves You, that's from the same guy who did 1, 2. They also did something else. I forget which. But it was a band. They were playing on some TV show on the religious channel. It was like a kids show on the religious channel, and they were a band. They were playing music.
And spread it with a spoon.
I don't remember what this was from, but the way the guy says it is very funny. And spread it with a spoon.
And spread it with a spoon.
He raises his head up and he moves his sack back and forth to attract a female, and maybe she'll mate with him and stay with him.
Okay, so sounds like a funny sample. Now, this guy was talking about a bird, some type of bird, and the sack he was talking about, I think, was underneath his beak. Pretty sure that's the scenario here. So this was an educational show. This was a nature show. It was probably, one of the Saturday or Sunday morning type of shows. But it's very funny because you can sort of take it to mean a guy like moving his nutsack back and forth in order to attract a female. So you could think of it like that if you really wanted to. By the way, this song, I know this for a fact. My snares, I accidentally hit my snares off. So basically the snare wires are underneath the snare drum. And you can sort of clamp it on. And then you can also declamp it to turn them off. And by turning them off, it just means that it loosens the tension. And so the snare wires don't rest up against the bottom skin. So when you clamp them on, the snare wires are being pulled against the bottom skin of the drum. And so that's where you get that snare drum tone. And if you unclamp the snare wires, then, they're not resting against the bottom skin anymore. And then the snare drum sounds different. And for this song, I accidentally released my snare wires. I think because I accidentally hit them with my stick when I was playing. It happens occasionally. So I'll point out when it happens. Did you hear that? It's slightly different. The tone is slightly different. And then I stopped playing drums because I realized what happened and I had to turn the snare wires back on again. And basically I'm screaming at the end of the song because I didn't plan out the lyrics properly. I was a little slow with delivering the lyrics. And so I had to finish my line before the song ended, before the music ended. And so that's why I'm screaming by myself at the end of the song.
How do I look? I like it. It's cute.
I like it. It's cute. This was, once again, it's two girls. I don't know I don't think they're the same girls from before, the same two Christian girls. I think these are different girls. This was another one of those Saturday or Sunday morning type of shows. If I remember correctly, these girls, or at least one of them, she wanted to start some sort of clothing business or clothing store or something. I don't really remember. Or maybe it was a stylist. She wanted to become a stylist or something. And so I don't know, whatever she did, she changed her outfit or something. And then she comes out from the changing room and then you have the big reveal and she's like, how do I look? And then her friend says, I like it. It's cute. There you go.
Can you remember a diver from Scotland?
That is from the Olympics once again. And I think, so this is the guy. We already heard the girl when she tripping me up. That was the show. That was the song, Tripped Me Up. And so this is the guy in that duo of commentators for the diving event. Apparently, divers from Scotland are rare. I did not know that.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I have no idea what that's from, but it makes a nice sample for the beginning of a song. Yeah, it must be 20-second long songs because That sample was extremely short, and this song is only 22 seconds long. So it's kind of funny. I thought they were 16 seconds, but the 16-second ones must have been for my 1,000 song album. Yeah, that must be what it was for.
Got one in my sandbox.
Really?
Got one in my sandbox. Really? And then the drums come in immediately with the choke on the cymbal and hitting the bass drum. I love that. Got one in my sandbox. Really? Boom. It's very funny.
Got one in my sandbox.
Really?
And the one guy, he totally reminds me, the way his voice sounds, it reminds me of John C. Reilly. Not the guy who says, got one in my sandbox, but the guy who says, really. I don't know why. All I can think of is John C. Reilly. That's his name, right? The guy who played opposite Will Ferrell in Step Brothers, right?
Got one in my sandbox.
Really?
It sounds exactly like him, I swear.
Okay.
Okay. That was, I don't know if she was Swedish or if she was Norwegian. Yeah. Okay. I was trying to think of the name. It was a TV show, a cooking show. I think it's Scandinavian cooking or something like that. Originally it had this guy who would do it. It was a kind of a cool show. They would often cook outdoors, and the backgrounds were very nice up in Scandinavia. And then this girl she did a bunch of episodes as well.
Okay.
I don't remember what the scenario that she was doing in this specific sample. However, she does appear again later on, and I do remember the scenario for that, so I will talk about that. New Scandinavian Cooking, that's what it's called on PBS, or like Create, or whatever the other one is. Create, or I forget. I said it earlier in the video and I can't remember it now. So basically when you watch TV with an antenna, you can get PBS, and then there are sub-channels. One of them is Create, one of them is something else, and I cannot remember the effing name. Okay, so that is some interesting guitar work on one of those guitar tracks. Okay, I believe is track 45. I know that for a fact. For some reason, I don't know why. Okay, that is a really good guitar track. Wow, that's very imaginative. You can make some weird sounds on the guitar. Like, how would you even tab that out? I don't know. I have to fix my pants. Oh. All right, so let's continue.
He tried and fixed the hole with some Smarties that he kept in his hair.
Okay, so this is obviously a kid show. I think they were just asking kids, like, I don't remember what they were doing, but it was this, they were asking kids, a question or something. I don't really remember exactly what the lead up to this guy's response was, but this kid sounds like an insane person. If you listen to what he says.
He tried and fixed the hole with some Smarties that he kept in his hair.
He tried to fix the hole.
He tried and fixed the hole with some Smarties.
He tried to fix the hole with the Smarties that he kept in his hair. So, what? Excuse me? So basically, that's what the kid said. And it was, I listened to that. And I'm like, what the hell is this kid talking about? And so I had to add that as a sample.
In his hair.
Right?
That's a classic sample.
Right?
I don't remember where that was from. It's possible it was from the Marilyn Dennis Show again, one of those, daytime TV shows.
You stupid bitch.
Okay, that was Marguerite again, the girl from Canada's Worst Driver. And she was basically just, she was making mistakes in this driving test, and she was getting mad at the vehicle. And so that's where that comes from.
You stupid bitch.
I wonder if anyone would have known that. Like when you hear this sample, if you would think it was from Canada's Worst Driver and she's talking to a car.
You stupid bitch.
Well, we are white people from Connecticut, darling.
White people from Connecticut. This is once again from that TV movie where the girl takes over the wrestling business. And so I believe this is the father, and then the mother was the one who said she was at the wedding, and she had another line earlier on. So there's a lot of, and there's even another sample from that TV movie. I wish I could remember what it was. I mean, I definitely could figure it out on Google. But that's a classic sample. White people from Connecticut.
Well, we are white people from Connecticut, darling.
Oh, I thought the other one was coming up. It must be. Oh, no. It doesn't appear until later on. For a second there, I thought there were two samples in a row from the same movie or from the same program. But no, that's untrue. Okay, so she was the bad person in whatever scenario this was. This is from a movie. I feel like the word Romeo was in the movie. I feel like it was. Anyway, there was a guy. She was the bad guy, and then I guess the guy finally shot her. This was probably at the end of the movie. I really can't think. There was a car involved. That's all I can remember. And I think this struggle samples, it's kind of funny. There was no talking in this sample. And so I had to come up with my own song title. I called it Struggle. I can picture the scene. I just don't know how to describe it. But yeah, this signifies the 50th song, I believe. It's either 50 or 51. Yeah, it's 50. So we're halfway through. This also has some nice guitar work. This is one of those songs where sort of the guitars take turns being the dominant guitar, because some of this I didn't even know existed. Like this part right in here. I didn't even know that existed on this album. Whereas other parts like this, yeah, I recognize that. It's kind of funny. But there's some strange guitar work going on the other track, that's for sure. This one right here. Classic song. I did not mean to do that. I almost hit Brave. Okay, so that is from the same band who did 1-2. You know, they're doing the religious channel. They are playing in a kids show. They're actually physically playing. Lots of good clips from that.
Historic voyages along the dramatic fjords.
Okay, so that was sort of an in-between thing between programs on PBS, one of those PBS channels. Create, and I still can't think of the other one. But so basically, New Scandinavian Cooking. It was probably during the commercial break for New Scandinavian Cooking. So the show ended, and then they show a few ads in between until the next episode starts, the next program starts. And so this was one of them. I think it was advertising like a cruise or something to take you along the dramatic fjords. What was the line?
Historic voyages along the dramatic fjords.
Yeah. Historic voyages along the dramatic fjords in Scandinavia.
Stu, but I want to see one. But I mean, you gotta come out here and do this. It's just one of those things that everyone should see.
Okay, this was from another one of those travel shows. It was this girl. For some reason, I want to say her name is Julie. For some reason, I don't remember what the name of the show is. But I used to watch it. She was a cute girl. And Julie, and there was a guy as well. And they each had their segments on the show. I don't really remember what she was talking about, but...
Just do what I want to see one. But I mean, you gotta come out here and do this. It's just one of those things that everyone should see.
So, this is a travel show. I actually so I started writing some stand-up comedy, some jokes for stand-up comedy several years ago, just for fun. I was never going to do it. I just wanted to try and write some jokes. And one of my jokes was, I didn't actually write it all the way out, but one of the ideas was talking about traveling and how pointless traveling is, because you're basically just spending a lot of money in order to travel somewhere to see people living just like you live where you live, but they just eat like slightly different food, and the land is slightly different, the weather is slightly different. And so I never get these people who are so into traveling. I don't understand. It seems so pointless to me. Like, I know there's this one part on The Office where they asked Pam what she would do if she was about to die or something like that. And she would say she wanted to travel. And I don't understand that at all. That'd be a good video if I did some of my stand-up comedy. Some of the stand-up comedy that I never finished. I have a text file full of like jokes and stuff and ideas that I never fleshed out. I would probably have horrible delivery.
You know, it's not an inbox if nothing ever goes out. It's just a box full of crap.
Okay, so that girl, she is the one who took over the wrestling business. Finally, we get to the main character in that movie. And so she takes over the wrestling business, and that is one of her, that's not one of her, but she was talking to one of her employees. Obviously the wrestling business was in bad shape, and then she takes it over. She's much more business savvy. And so she's trying to explain about the inbox. So that's like the fourth sample from that movie.
I know how much you love tennis.
I don't love tennis.
You at least like it though, right?
I like watching it, I guess.
Okay, I listened to this song the other day. I listened to this album the other day, actually, after my video where I was going through the top 50 songs, because I wanted to listen to this album, and I did. I was trying to think of this guy's name. I mentioned this in a previous video. If I mentioned it in a previous video, it must have been the top 50 songs on Bandcamp. This must have been one of the songs. Kind of surprising because it's so far down in the track list. I don't know. Maybe he was just a tennis fan. Some tennis fan listened to the song over and over. I don't know. But this guy, that's Sean William Scott, the guy who plays Stifler. And so I was trying to think of the actor's name and I couldn't think of it. And it just came to me now. So hooray for me. This is some sort of tennis movie. I forget what the name is. Apparently he plays a tennis instructor. And I guess he wants to teach that girl tennis. I used to play tennis. I loved it, but I ended up choosing hockey over tennis. Something I think I do regret that. In a way, I do regret it, but in another way, I did enjoy playing hockey. But I would have liked to see how my life would have unfolded if I switched to tennis. I mean, I'm not very tall, so I mean, I think regardless if I stuck with hockey or tennis, nothing would have come from it. Yeah, but I haven't played tennis since like I was a teenager. I've been absolutely dying to play tennis. So if there are any ladies out there who want to play tennis with me, leave a comment. We can play some tennis.
I think they might have a point.
Okay, this, I don't even know what this is from, but I recognize the girl's voice. I think they might have a point.
I think they might have a point.
Oh my God. It sounds so familiar, but I can't place it. And I don't know what the scenario is either. I would have to go through like my Reaper program, my Reaper project that has all of the TV samples, and I would have to find it. But I'm not going to do that. I'm very thirsty this episode.
I'm the loser.
Okay, so that is the Swedish chick again from New Scandinavian Cooking. She ended up going to like a fish factory or something where they were sort of taking the skin off of fish or filleting fish or something. And so she was, the guy who works there was teaching her how to do it. And then they were sort of racing each other to see who could do it first. And she ended up losing. And so she says she's the loser.
I'm the loser.
My favorite.
Does that put a smile on your face
You
or
bet
what?
it does.
Okay, so this is another infomercial. This is a different team. And so if I remember correctly, they're advertising like a copper frying pan, I believe. Let me just re-listen to it.
My favorite.
Does that put a smile on your face
You
or
bet
what?
it does.
Maybe it's not a frying pan. Maybe it's just sort of like a casserole dish or something. But they were making some sort of, okay, what was the thing again?
My favorite.
Does that put a smile on your face
You
or
bet
what?
it does.
Okay. I think they were making something chocolatey. If I remember correctly, I believe another one of these samples comes up later on. But you know, these guys, the infomercial people, they're different from the other infomercial people who were advertising the spray paint thing, but they have the exact same rapport with each other. You know, they have to keep talking. They have to be enthusiastic.
My favorite.
Does that put a smile on your face
You
or
bet
what?
it does.
She doesn't even let him finish. She says, "You bet it does." He barely starts talking, and then she says, "You bet it does." It's very, very funny.
My favorite.
Does that put a smile on your face
You
or
bet
what?
it does.
One, two, three, four.
Okay. I'm assuming no one would know what this is from. This is another one from Night Court, the sitcom Night Court. For whatever reason, someone brought like a drum machine or a keyboard into the courtroom. I don't know why. But then the judge guy was using it, I think.
One, two, three, four.
Very strange.
The floral arrangements were extraordinary.
I love the way she says that. The floral arrangements were extraordinary. That is the mother again from that movie where the daughter takes over the wrestling business. That's the 5th sample from that movie. Oh my God, that movie is just full of samples. TV movie. I'm definitely going to have to figure out what that's from. This is a very good song though. Musically as well. The drumming is very intense.
The floral arrangements were extraordinary.
Okay, yeah, she was talking about the floral arrangements for that wedding that she went to that had the 5 last names. That's where that's from. So they basically, there's like 4 different samples from when they went out to dinner.
The floral arrangements were extraordinary.
It's also funny talking about flowers, about floral arrangements. For a song like this that is so intense and crazy like this. I like that riff. There's one specific riff in that song that dominates for me. When I perceive that song, there's one, it goes a certain way. Now I don't even know what track number that is. So this is floral arrangements. Is it in the 50s? Oh, it's number 60. We are making progress. How long are we into? Are we 2 hours yet? 152? No. Okay. We're doing good. It's not going to be 3 hours because, you know, there was like a 20-minute intro or something. So 60. So let's go to track 60. Making progress, making progress. I don't know which one it is. I'll be able to tell by the visual. I mean, I could zoom in one. Yeah, it's definitely this one. The track is this one because there are palm mutes, heavy palm mutes. So let's solo this one. Yeah, this riff, I really like this riff, just as a riff on its own. I was hitting those, the harmonics, and I did a bunch of open strings as well with the heavy palm mutes. Really like that.
This was definitely the highlight of my day.
Okay, so I can picture what this is. Now the show, I don't know what the show name is. It's a kids show, and the kids like do various activities or something. And so this was the end of the show. And what did the guy say? The highlight of my day?
This was definitely the highlight of my day.
There's some really strange noise that happens after he says, this was the highlight of my day. It's like some guy saying, come on. But it sounds like really intense. I don't know what that was from, where it comes from.
This was definitely the highlight of my day.
Quite funny, though. If I remember correctly, the guy who said that, like the guy who says this was definitely the highlight of my day, he's not a regular on that show. I feel like it's a guy and a girl. They're probably teenagers or something like that. I don't remember what they did. To be honest, I think I remember. I think they were flying or something like that. They got to go in an airplane. I'm pretty sure because I'm starting to come back to me. Now I don't know what TV channel it would have been on, but this one, I believe what's coming up next is cool. Let's see what happens.
Cool. Let's see what happens.
Okay. I don't know what that's from, but I knew that was coming up next. It's starting to come back to me. If I would have sort of, what I could have done was listen to the album probably like 10 times over the last few days in order to sort of prepare myself so that I would know exactly which song was coming up next. But like I mentioned this in my previous video, when I was listening to this album every day when I was making supper. And so it got to the point where I was recognizing the melodies of the songs, even though they seemingly have no melody. They're all random and stuff like that. But I was recognizing melodies, and I knew which song was coming up next based on the sample. And so there's still some samples that I can recognize that are coming up next, like this one. I think I did another one earlier as well. This sample, let's see what happens. I don't know what this is from. Once again, it's from some sort of kids show. I feel like I got most of my samples from either the Saturday or Sunday morning TV.
Cool. Let's see what happens.
Their music. Their music, his music, is a he, not a they. Right. Sorry.
Oh my God, I just remembered. So I actually made a cut in this sample. Okay, so these are those two Christian girls. I forget where they appeared. We've already heard them before, but this is more of the skit that they do. I don't know if it's a skit or what it is, but
I like their music.
Oh, so it was the girl who asked her, so what are you up to? Yeah, so what are you up to? I think that's what it's called, right? So what are you up to? Where is it? It's somewhere. Oh, yeah, what are you up to? Okay, so we listened to that, and then this is the continuation.
I like their music.
So they're talking, I think the one girl was saying she's listening to this band.
I like their music. Their music, his music.
Yeah, okay. And so the girl who asked the other girl, what are you up to? She says, I'm listening to this band. And then the first girl, once again, she says she likes this music.
I like their music. Their music, his music.
So this is, yeah, these are Christian girls. And then so she actually says the band's name, but I cut that out.
Not a they. I like their music. Their music, his music, is a he, not a they. Right. Sorry.
And I remember what the band's name is. The band's name is Justice Fever. So it's sort of a takeoff of Justin Bieber, but it's Justice Fever. That's what the band's name was. What the band's name is. So I think what the one girl was saying is it's a he, not a they, because it's, I don't know, they're channeling God or something like that. But, you know, you could sort of take this sample as referring to me because, you know, I made this album by myself. So you could take it that way. That's why I added this, because I thought you could make that connection as well.
I like their music. Their music, his music, is a he, not a they. Right. Sorry.
So Justice Fever or Nostril Caverns, who's better?
But once in a while, I do remember.
That's a classic one. It's also very fitting, very appropriate for this album. I feel like once in a while I do remember. I don't know why. Because the name of the album, Self-Inflicted Memory Loss. That's why it's appropriate for this album. I knew it was appropriate for some reason, and then I forgot, and then I remembered because I remembered the name of the album. But this guy, I do remember. I believe it's from the same movie where the guy was saying that he's sorry. He was saying, I'm sorry. Like I told you at the airport, I mean that. You're the sweetest thing I ever had. And then there's the piano music. I believe it's the same guy. Once again, I don't know what movie it is. Okay, so I think this is from the same one, from the same show, for the same program that Crunchy comes from, which I believe is the Marilyn Dennis show, which I believe is like one of those daytime talk show things where they have a segment about food or about whatever. This was the food segment where they're making stuff, and so it has that happy sounding music, and then their mouths are full, they're chewing, they're crunching, and then they say mm-hmm.
So how long have you been on hold?
Okay, so that must be the same. Okay, those are the same Christian chicks. But that sounds like a different skit. But it's definitely from the, I feel like it's definitely the Christian girls again, though. So that's the third Christian girls sample. So obviously her friend's on the phone and she's on hold. But that's all I remember.
That's enough. Get up. Stop it.
Okay, that is the band again. The Christian band who did 1, 2, God Loves You. They did something else. Wow, so I have a lot of samples from them as well. And this one was very funny as well. Oh, Doobie Doobie Doo or whatever. I don't even remember what it was called. But they were making a bunch of like scatting.
That's enough. Get up. Stop it.
And then so they end up ending the song like that. Very funny.
I would tell people that you never know what's going to work until you try it.
Until you try it. This is the same girl who did So How Do I Look? I Like It, It's Cute. So basically there's yeah, it was her and her friend. So the premise behind whatever show this was, it was sort of like younger people, I guess in high school, who were sort of given an opportunity to create a business or something. And so this girl wanted to do like I don't know if it was a clothing shop or to be a stylist or something like that. She had started some type of business or some type of thing like that. And then she was giving her advice. So she would tell people that, how does it go?
I would tell people that you never know what's going to work until you try it.
You know, that's also quite fitting for this album. I would tell people that as well, because this album was an experiment, and it ended up working great, in my opinion. You know, I'm fully aware that anyone who's actually watching this probably thinks this music is horrible. I'm fully aware. I'm not, you know, I'm aware of that. I'm conscious of that. But I've listened to this album so much. I love this album so much.
Well, that has a lot of hyphens.
Oh my God. This is another sample from that dinner. So this is the girl, that was the girl who took over the wrestling business. And she's talking about the hyphens. So she's referencing her mother, who said she went to the wedding, and she was talking about the floral arrangements and the wedding of the people who had 5 last names. And then so the daughters makes a comment about how, wow, that's a lot of hyphens. How many is that now? 6? Is that 6? I think that's 6. 6 samples from this TV movie.
Well, that has a lot of hyphens.
Love you too.
No idea what that's from. Literally have zippity idea. I wonder if it's from the same movie with the jacket, Got Your Jacket sample. I don't know. I mean, they sound similar, but I'm not sure. The characters sound similar. As in, there's a guy and a girl.
You'll like what you hear.
Okay. I don't know what that's from. That's obviously from some type of commercial or infomercial, but it sounded very funny. It was a very good sample. You'll like what you hear. Also, once again, very appropriate for this album because some of the melodies on this album are just absolutely ridiculously anti-melodic, amelodic, atonal. Specifically this song. So it fits perfectly with this song.
You'll like what you hear.
Okay, I know what the next sample is. I'm just trying to think what they say. It's like, it's a music. There's music, but then they say something at the end. Oh, they say music, please. Oh, okay, that's what it is. Okay.
Music, please.
Okay, my memory is getting a little better. Now, that was from another kids show, and so I don't remember what show it was. I don't even remember the scenario in the show. It may have been, I don't know, but that's what it's from.
Coffee's on.
Okay, that's a good one as well. Now, that lady has a very nice voice. I feel like this may have been from another one of those old-fashioned Western shows. I believe it is. I mean, it's a classic sample, Coffee's On. And the song is very interesting as well. It's very dissonant.
Coffee's on.
You better give me a license, a ring, and half your check.
Okay.
You better give me a license, a ring, and half your check.
All right, so this is from some talk show. So that was like some fat black chick. And there was like a gay Asian guy as well. But then there was another girl. I don't remember what she was. I don't remember what the show was called. If I remember correctly, I believe there is another sample from that show coming up, talking about parking or something. But I think she went on this rant about, I forget what, about, I think they were talking about men test driving women to be a wife or something like that. I don't remember. And then she went into this spiel. I want a license, a ring, and half yo check. Half yo check.
You better give me a license, a ring, and half your check.
Okay. Who would want to marry you?
So pretty.
That's a good one as well. I think that is from the same one as the fruit punch sample. So basically, it was the shopping channel, and they were advertising some type of clothing. And the way this girl says "so pretty" is very funny.
So pretty.
It's like she sounds possessed or something. Like the one girl is at the very, very beginning. Some other girl is trying to talk. And then this girl comes along and says, "So pretty."
So pretty.
How old are you?
Oh my God. I knew what this is from. Oh, but I can't remember. For some reason, I feel like yeah. I feel like it's a Mary. What the hell's her name? She was on the show Weeds. What is that girl's name? Oh, this is going to drive me crazy. I feel like it was on, I don't know if it was a TV movie or if it was just some other type of movie. All I can think of is Mary Louise. But I'm getting her name mixed up with Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and that's a different actress entirely. Okay, I just gotta have to do this really quickly. Pardon me. Weeds. Mary Louise Parker. Okay, I would have never got Parker. I mean, I could go through her IMDb because I would figure out. I don't even know what the thing's called, what the movie's called that this is from, but I swear to God, that's her. And she's talking to someone. I don't remember the scenario, but I remember it being outdoors in the country, and that's basically all I have. If you can think of so this is Mary Louise Parker. I mean, I could try Googling that and try and figuring it out. I feel like she was talking to some famous actor. I feel like.
How old are you?
I don't know why Mary Louise Parker is in my head, but I swear that's her.
How old are you?
I'm not going by the voice. I'm going by like my memory.
Hey, hon.
Where are you? I'm all packed.
Where are you? I'm all packed. I like that. Now, what I should have done, I should have cut this sample up into a couple samples. I think it would have been perfect for at the very beginning. And then once he says, "Hey, hun," to just cut it there. And that would be one sample.
Hey, hon.
Yeah, so he's doing something shady. He's in a what's that called? This was an old school movie. payphone. He was in a payphone, and he was calling his wife. And I think he sort of sighed at the beginning because he's in some sort of ordeal, and he's lying to his wife.
Are you? I'm all packed.
I'm all packed.
I just got one little errand to run.
You haven't changed your mind.
No, of course not.
You can tell just by the way he said that. By the way he said no, that he's obviously lying.
An hour.
I love you.
These are great marbles. Look at this one.
Okay, that's obviously from a kid's show. I don't know what show. I don't know if it's animated or not. I don't even know why I included this as a sample. But I mean, I had to try and clip 99 samples. So some of them are better than others. I'm not sure why I chose this one.
These are great marbles. Look at this one.
I think it's because he says, look at this one at the end. And so that's sort of, it's like he's introducing the song, you know? Some of the samples are like that. It seems like they're introducing the song or they're describing the song. And that's why I used those samples. By the way, I think my favorite song is up next. It's called You Need Glasses. Track 79. So we must be on track 78 now.
You need glasses.
Classic sample. I really like that sample. I think that's from one of those Western shows again. Obviously, the guy was mad at someone.
You need glasses.
Yeah, so this song has like a very strange melody to it. It has a melody, but it's weird. I mean, it sounds melodic, but it also sounds non-melodic at the same time. But I really like the melody it has. And the drumming is nice. It's got blast beats, and it's got a good sample as well.
You need glasses.
Yeah, very, very strange melody.
That is incorrect.
Yeah, so I guess we have 3 samples from that talk show. Now, this is the same talk show that had the fat black chick who said, I want, give me a license, a ring, and half yo check. Half yo check. And so in this guy who says that is incorrect, they're playing some sort of game in this segment. And the guy who's sort of leading the game is asking the questions is the gay Asian guy.
That is incorrect.
Of course, I'm just assuming he's gay based on how he speaks in the segment. Like, that's what I remember about watching that show.
That is incorrect.
And I don't remember what the question was. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't remember. I did remember the Happy Days question, though. The jumping the shark question. That's always stuck with me.
Think you can give him back, Harry?
Okay, I have no idea what that's from. If I remember correctly, sometimes because I'm flipping through the channels, right? So sometimes I'm getting into these shows really quickly in the middle of a scene. And then sometimes the sample happens immediately. So there's no context. And then I'm like, okay, I got the sample. Sometimes it'll go to a commercial. So I have to change the channel anyway. And so there's not a lot of information there for me to remember what happened. I feel like this is one of those times. I don't know if that's true or not, but this was obviously from some type of kids show, I think.
Think you can give him back, Harry?
I like the harmonics at the very beginning.
Think you can give him back, Harry?
You ready for this?
Yes, I am.
One.
I'm not ready.
Huh?
No, give me a minute.
Hold on, Cat.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, I was trying to think. This is from a game show. I was trying to think what the game show was. I was like, is this from Price is Right? No. Is this from Whose Line Is It Anyway? Obviously not. That's not a game show. But the guy, Wayne Brady, he's from that show. But then I think this is from Let's Make a Deal. Yeah, because I think Wayne Brady hosts Let's Make a Deal. And so...
You ready for this?
Yes, I am.
One.
I'm not ready.
Huh?
No, give me a minute.
Hold on, Cat.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so the guy said he's not ready. The music stops. And then he says he's ready. And then it goes right into my music, which it was like a perfectly timed sample. Very, very appropriate sample for this album.
You ready for this?
Yes, I am.
One.
I'm not ready.
Huh?
No, give me a minute.
Hold on, Cat.
Okay, I'm ready.
So, I mean, it's so perfect. It's like he's talking about the song. So Wayne Brady is saying, okay, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this awesome song that's about to happen? And he's like, yes. And he's like, whoa, wait. No, I'm not ready. And then Wayne Brady says, okay, wait, you got to wait. And he says, okay, Cat, wait. And then the guy says, okay, I'm ready. And then the music starts. It's so perfect. You can't make it better than that.
You ready for this?
Yes, I am.
One.
I'm not ready.
Huh?
No, give me a minute.
Hold on, Cat.
Okay, I'm ready.
Some friend you are.
Okay, no idea where that's from. That's probably from a movie. It might be from the same movie that Mary Louise Parker one was from. I'm not sure. Some kid saying some friend you are to someone, to one of his friends. That's all I got.
I'm sure you will be a very good trampolinist.
Okay, obviously from a kid's show. Why I decided to make that a sample, I haven't a clue. I mean, the girl has a funny voice. She says it in a humorous way. I guess it was also appropriate because the Olympics were happening, and I believe, actually, I don't know if the trampoline was happening during that time, wasn't it? I remember the trampoline event had been added. I don't know if it was that year or if it was in 2020. It must have been added in 2016. There was some hot Canadian trampolinist girl. I forget what her name is. She ended up placing very high, I believe, if not first. I don't remember. I'm trying to think of her name. I can't think of her name.
with the fruit punch. So
we've already heard this one before. This is from that the shopping channel. The shopping channel. They were talking about some type of clothing, and the fruit punch, it was a color of the clothing.
So with the fruit punch. So
I love that though. I love that delay. She goes, so with the fruit punch. So it's just the delay really makes it for me.
So with the fruit punch. So
okay, I think the next one is less than a minute. I think.
All those years of hard work are about to be undone in less than a minute.
Okay, so that sample is from, oh man, it's some sort of series of shows. Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it. It was like worst car crashes or worst police chases or something like that. There's a bunch of different different themes for that show. I don't remember what the theme was for this, but the reason I picked this sample was because it's very funny. It's very appropriate if you think about it for this album.
All those years of hard work are about to be undone.
All those years of hard work. So if you think about it, that could be describing me. All the years of, playing drums and guitar, of practicing and learning how to do that.
All those years of hard work are about to be undone in less than a minute.
In less than a minute, because this song is less than a minute. So it's basically commenting on, all of the work I've done in order to be a musician is about to be undone by this one song.
You can't find parking if you try.
You can't find parking here either, Joe.
Okay, so that was the talk show with the fat black chick, the gay Asian guy, and this other girl who says at the end, you can't find parking here either, Joe. I feel like that was another character on the show, not a character, another lady on the show. I forget. I can semi-picture her. I feel like she had short hair. But they were talking about parking in New York and parking in LA.
Sabotage.
You're a filthy murdering liar, Mud. We should hang you right here, right now.
Okay, obviously that was probably another one of those Western shows. I don't remember which one. That might have been from the same one as I've seen your picture before. I forget which one it is. And the guy says, I bet you have. If you remember all the way back when we listened to that sample, I would literally bet money that literally no one's watching right now. If anyone can make it through this video, let me know in the comments. Because we're listening to this entire album, and I don't know how many people can even stand a couple of these songs, but this music can be really hard to listen to. Okay, I think the next one Oh, what's this? What's the thing? It's I feel like it's an Olympics one, and it's the one some like butch chick is doing the hammer toss. Oh, and then she starts screaming because this was her last one, and if she makes a really good one, then she's going to win first place. She's going to win the gold medal. And then she knows immediately, as soon as it leaves her hands, she knows that it's a really good one. And so she starts screaming. And so basically the camera is on the hammer going through the air. But you know, because there's mics at ground level, and it's picking up her screams. Oh, I just remember the quote. And so, you know, the hammer's going through the air, the camera is on the hammer, and then all you hear is these like butch screams, these butch yells, because she's really proud of herself because she knows she won the gold medal. And so the commentators are hearing this. They can hear it, just like everyone at home can hear it. And then so the commentator goes, if she's screaming, you know it's good. And it's a very funny line if you sort of take it out of context, which I'm assuming you would if you're listening to this album, because you wouldn't know that it's from the Olympics. But if she's screaming, you know it's good. You could think of that like sex, right?
And if she's screaming, you know it's good.
I remember watching that, and while I was recording onto my computer, the audio, and I was like, oh my God, that's so perfect. The perfect sample. Hopefully the IIHF doesn't come after me for recording the audio.
I had the giggles.
Okay, I mean, once again, it's another kids show sample. You know, they often have good, like, the voices sound good. They enunciate, like I said before. They have funny sounding voices. This was one of those things. I had the giggles. I mean, it's not really appropriate for this album, I guess. It doesn't really describe anything, but I like how he says, I had the giggles, and then right after that, I do an artificial harmonic on my guitar. If you know what that is, there's a funny noise on my guitar.
I had the giggles.
Like a high-pitched noise, a high-pitched squeal.
I had the giggles.
I am so proud.
Okay, this one is probably from the same Fruit Punch one, the same. I can never remember what I'm trying to say here. The shopping channel. I can never remember the shopping channel. You know, that same shopping channel segment where they're trying to sell clothing, and the girl says, you know, the Fruit Punch color one looks good. There was another one, but I forget what the sample was. We've already heard it. And then this one I feel like is from the same thing. She says she's so proud.
I am so proud.
Just like that. Those are the pieces we'll need for the outer edge of our
That's
quilt.
all I'm cutting, right?
Yep, just those little pieces.
Okay. All right. I like this because it's the way they talk.
Yeah, just like that. Those are the pieces we'll need for the outer edge of our quilt.
That's all I'm cutting, right?
Yep, just those little pieces.
And the guy is like, and that's all I'm cutting, right? Okay. They're so chill. So this is a sewing show on PBS. And so You know, they're very laid back, easygoing. So she's talking about sewing a quilt or making a quilt. And just the way they speak, it has a very nice tone to it.
Yeah, just like that. Those are the pieces we'll need for the outer edge of our
That's
quilt.
all I'm cutting, right?
Yep, just those little pieces.
We're almost done, by the way. We only have a few more songs left.
We need a lookbook. We need like a lookbook with pictures and inspiration. I know, right?
Once again, a classic sample. I know, right? So this was from another one of those daytime TV talk shows. They were doing some segment about something I don't remember.
We need a lookbook. We need like a lookbook with pictures and inspiration. I know, right?
This one, it has like, this has it's a steady beat, the drumming I'm talking about, but it's a very slow tempo. And I like the beat.
We need a lookbook. We need like a lookbook with pictures and inspiration. I know, right?
$7:30, you tell your neighbors.
7:30, you tell your neighbors. Once again, this has to be from one of the Western shows. I guess they were going to do a duel or something like that. Okay, I think this is like, wow, that thing can fly or something like that.
Wow, it sure can fly.
Okay, wow, it sure can fly. I got the wording wrong, but I got the idea right. I think this is track 94. I think. It's 90 something. I don't know what this is from. This is once again from one of those kids shows.
I like that.
You know why? Because chocolate's sticky and gooey.
And delicious.
And delicious.
Hello.
Okay, once again, this is from the same people who did. Trying to think what the sample was. You know, this is an infomercial. They're trying to sell you some sort of casserole, some sort of copper casserole dish, and they're making some sort of chocolate and marshmallow dish. A meal. Just trying to think what the other sample was.
I like that.
You know why? Because chocolate's sticky and gooey.
And delicious.
And delicious.
Hello.
This was the girl who wouldn't let the guy finish his sentence in the previous sample. Very funny. It's like she's sort of, I don't know if she's being bitchy or not, but or she's just trying to be really enthusiastic.
I like that.
You know why? Because chocolate's sticky and gooey.
And delicious.
And delicious.
Hello.
Hello.
Excuse me, but what's this? It's a gun. I'm sure you've seen one before. Well, I'll be.
Okay, so one of those guys was the bad guy. The guy with the gun was the good guy, because the bad guy went into town acting like a jerk. You know, this is one of those old Westerns. And so the good guy wants the guy out of town. And that's what I remember about that. I believe this is track 97. Yeah, I don't know what that's from. Once again, this is, I think that's only the second sample that doesn't have any speaking. It's just music. I think the previous one did involve a gunshot and a scream, but this one didn't have any human voice at all. And this song is very intense. The music is very intense.
What were you thinking?
Okay, now this sample, I don't think I should play it because, you know, I uploaded this album to YouTube and I got a copyright notice for this sample. So this sample is from, I don't know the movie. It features, what's her name? Molly Shannon. And it also, so basically this scene involves Molly Shannon, a guy who I don't know. And so basically Molly Shannon, there's a dog involved. So it's Molly Shannon and a dog. She likes dogs or something. I forget what it'd be easy to figure out what it's called. And then, so she's over at this couple's house. I don't know if she's related to them or what, or if they're just friends, but it's this guy and his wife is Brigitte Nielsen, I believe. Brigitte Nielsen Sampras? I feel like she's married to Pete Sampras, the ex-tennis player. And so I don't, like, should I just play it in little tiny parts so that I won't get a copyright notice? That might be kind of funny. No, because the music part is actually really good. It's the music that's getting copyright claimed, not like the movie. Apparently the guy, I guess he uploaded his, like the soundtrack to this movie. And I got a copyright notice. So I don't think I'm going to listen to this, unfortunately. It's a very nice piece of music. That's why I saved it for the very last track. It's sort of, it's like a keyboard, very sad sounding keyboards. It's sort of fit with this, actually, with the music that we listen to in the background music, like this sort of stuff. Similar to that. That's probably why I like it so much. So basically, Molly Shannon did something strange. I don't know what she did involving the dog. Not involving the dog, but I think someone was trying to like steal her dog, or the bad guy in the movie, I guess, was trying to steal the dog or trying to do something to the dog. And then she did something. She did something to the guy, apparently. And then so her friends or whoever, if she's related to them, they're asking her. I forget what the guy said, but what did you do? Why did you do it? And then Molly Shannon says, I wanted him to know what it felt like. And then there's a pause, and there's some really nice background music with keyboards going on. So I'm just setting the scene here. And then Brigitte Nielsen's character says, and she's like half whispering at the beginning, but then she starts to get a little louder at the end. Not loud, but she's like not whispering anymore. But that's part of the scene. And she says, so what did Molly Shannon say? I wanted him to know what it felt like. And then Brigitte Nielsen said, felt like what or something. What's proper English here? I wanted him to know what it felt like. What it felt like to what? I think that's what she said. And then there's a long pause with the very nice background music, with the very nice keyboard music. And then Molly Shannon has the line, to be hunted. She wanted the bad guy to know what it felt like to be hunted, because I think the bad guy was hunting her dog or something like that. And so that was it was a very good one. So let's try and...
To be hunted.
I think we bypassed the copyright notice. I think we did, hopefully. Okay, so the very last line, I know what the very last line is. So the very last line, I say, pounded by Christopher. So I guess at the very end of the album, it's a happy ending because I end up having sex. I think that's what happens. I mean, we should go through the lyrics one day. I'd have to read them beforehand to see if they're appropriate. I know they're not appropriate. But anyway, that is the entire album. We listened to 99 songs. I don't know if anyone's still watching. I mean, if you managed to watch this, I think you deserve some kind of prize because you listened to this whole album with me. And I was able to give a little bit of commentary onto the origins of all of these samples. I honestly had a lot of fun doing this. I remembered some things that I had forgotten about, which was cool. And I forgot some things that I used to know, unfortunately. But yeah, I think we did good tonight. We did good tonight. The visualization is doing good right now. So I think I have an idea for the next video, which I will do soon in a couple days or so. And then I have an idea for the one after that. And then I am working on another script. So that's fun, I think. Anyway, until next time.